yeah, there she is. Wow. So it's a special one today, well for me anyway. It's actually the Royal Marine's birthday, the day in 1664, 28th of October, the Royal Marines were actually formed. And today we're actually going to go to Lochaber at Speen Bridge on Western Scotland. And we're going specifically to see the Commando Memorial. And obviously it represents importance to me because I was in the Royal Marines for just under 8 years. We're going to Scotland! And as I understand, over 60% of all whiskey distilleries for malt use water from the River Spey coming through this beautiful area, in which I understand the high feature here, you can't quite see at this angle, there's a little cross, and it's to mark the old McLaughlin clan land area. So when you stand on top of there, everything you can see belongs to the McLaughlin clan. So imagine being up there and everything you could see, that's a lot of land, prime real estate. This is what I love about adventure bikes. You don't benefit from going fast. I really just enjoy taking my time and seeing everything, you know, seeing the view. Just beautiful. So I filled up with some fuel a few miles back, and I'm told that there is now no fuel until Fort William, which is just over 30 miles away. So if you ever come down here, make sure you consider your fuel options. If you're passing a petrol station and you think maybe I should fill up and all you can see is mountains, fill up. That's my advice.
And just a matter of interest for your troops, if you tell anybody to come here, then they must have booked direct.
Right.
If they go through booking.com, I cannot give you the military discount.
Let the guys know.
And there's the sign. Commando Memorial. Oh yeah, there she is. Wow, so striking, immediately striking. Parking free. That's nice to know. In the summer of 1940, when Britain's fortunes in World War II were at the lowest ebb and the enemy invasion was threatened, Winston Churchill boldly ordered the raising of an elite force to raid the enemy-held coastline of Europe and regain the initiative. The new units, which initially consisted of the volunteers from the regiments and corps of the British Army, were called Commandos. Within weeks they were in action in Europe, later in the Middle East and the Far East. During the next 5 years they fought in every theatre of war with such success that the word commando became feared by the enemy, yet respected by friendly forces. In 1942 the Commando Basic Training Centre was established in the Scottish Highlands at Lochaber. Their potential commando soldiers, who by then came not only from the British Army but also the Royal Marines and the Allied armies, underwent their tough and purposeful training. Only those who successfully completed the course were accepted and privileged to wear the famous green beret. This distinctive headdress was acknowledged as a hallmark of the highest standards of military training, self-discipline and physical endurance, initiative, bravery and courage, whilst under the simple motto, "United we conquer," a comradeship beyond literary description was born, fostered and flourished. For their valour in action, the commandos earned 38 battle honours. The commandos earned 38 battle honours and many awards, including 8 Victoria Crosses. Many made the supreme sacrifice. No fewer than 1,700 commando soldiers lost their lives and others were seriously wounded. It was a record that prompted Winston Churchill to pay the following tribute to the commandos. "We may feel sure that nothing of which we have knowledge or record has ever been done by mortal men which surpasses their feats of arms. Truly we may say of them, when shall their glory fade?" This plaque was unveiled on the occasion of the freedom of the Lochaber being conferred to the Commando Association, 30th November 1993. Well, that was a very touching experience. Bumped into the 4-5 Commando veterans who were there raising money for the charities, the Royal Marine charities, which was fantastic to meet you guys. Thanks for the coffee. And so actually the plan is now, and just for your information, the closest fuel station and closest gas station is actually Fort William, which is about 8 miles away from Speenbridge. When you come to see this memorial, you do kind of need to consider your fuel stops, because between Fort William and anywhere to the northeast, you're really talking about 35 to 40 miles. Had a lovely stay at a guest house last night. My original plan was to bivvy out, to actually camp out, but when I arrived last night it was super dark, and a couple of guys that were at the memorial mentioned to me about a guest house that was close by, and it's actually run by Neil, ex-RAF, Royal Air Force veteran, and he is running that up by himself now. Pleasure to meet you, Neil. Thanks for the stay, thanks for the great breakfast. So Fort William is next stop. We're going to fuel up, and then we're actually going to go via Glencoe, over the bridge and back down south to Lancashire. Ideally I would love to continue across, maybe to either John O'Groats or Skye, but the bike is in need of a service in the not too distant future, so I really need to get it back and not smash it with miles until I've got a decent service, a first service on her. You gotta give her a good home, you gotta look after her, huh? Right, well, really enjoyed that. Very touching, beautiful backdrop. You can really imagine how the actual training would have been there. I mean, from experience, from actually becoming a Romans commander myself, I can tell you that it is no little feat. You know, it requires a serious strength and personal drive to complete, you know, and that's where they get the slogan from, 99.9% need not apply. So I'll flick you off now and hopefully get some good footage when we get to so I'll switch you off now and get some good footage when we get towards Glencoe. Look at these mountains! Look at these mountains, beautiful. Ah, trees ruining the view. You don't say that often, do you? The trees ruin the view. Look at this road! Crazy! Look at this road! Wow! I mean, blacktop's nice and smooth. Going through the middle of a mountain range. Glencoe mountain range. Bloody hell. Spectacular. Pretty windy. I think the wind's coming straight from behind, from the ocean, and it's coming straight down this valley, and it's bouncing off each side of the rocks. But luckily this beautiful machine, this Tenere, is more than capable. Mini waterfalls all over the place. Wow. This is truly Highland weather. Look at it, beautiful. So wild, isn't it? Look at it. This is where the romance for, you know, the thought of Scotland lies with me. It's not in the summer, it's in the autumn and winter where the wild takes over, you know? Spectacular. Okay guys, so I'm going to finish the episode here. Had a lovely 2 days. Had a nice little ride up north to the Highlands of Scotland to see the Commando Memorial. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to like the page, subscribe down below, and you'll get notified of any future videos. I'm hoping to do another one within the next 5 to 6 days. So I'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys.